Listen, man, what do I say? Some more bad news in America. Looks like there was a mass shooting in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. So far, look like officials report 4 dead and over 17 others shot and injured. I seen upwards of 50 injured, but we'll see as the day go on. Progress. Some people are in critical condition and things like that. I don't know much about it. I'm gonna learn about it, and I figure why not learn about it with y'all. Let's see what these officials got to say. They holding this press conference, sheriff department. They getting ready.
So good morning. First, I'd like to introduce the Honorable Mayor Randall Woodfin. To the right is Deputy Chief Henri Pruitt that commands our Patrol Bureau, and to his right is Deputy Chief Jeff Brown that commands our Investigative Bureau. We also have Tyler Cunningham, who is Assistant Special Agent in charge of ATF here in Birmingham, and we have Special Agent in charge for FBI Carlton Peoples with us. So last night about 11 p.m., Birmingham Police and Birmingham Fire and Rescue were called to the 2000 block of Magnolia Avenue on multiple individuals.
Yeah, it was 11 p.m. Sorry to stop it. It was 11 p.m. I thought it was more recent. They just getting this out.
Who were shot. Approximately 21 people were shot. 4 of those are deceased. They were taken to various hospitals, and the ATF and FBI were on scene with us assisting in that investigation. We believe this was a targeted shooting. It was not something that occurred at that location, but there was an individual there who was targeted. We feel comfortable in saying that at this point in time. There is a lot of things still developing. We believe that approximately over 100 shell casings were collected, along with numerous other pieces of evidence.
That mean they was just spraying and praying. Over 20 shot, they were spraying and praying.
We're currently reviewing video surveillance and other things. We have set up a QR code that our public information office will get out to everyone so that citizens can give information to our law enforcement detectives and things so they can further this investigation. Just like to thank Birmingham Fire and Rescue, the Birmingham police officers that were there last night, as well as UAB Hospital, St. Vincent's Hospital, Princeton Hospital, and Brookwood Hospital. Anytime, even though we're a large city, anytime when something of this magnitude occurs, it's very taxing on all of our city services and all these different medical facilities. So just really like to thank them. Also just to the victims and to the victims' family, just our heartfelt condolences go out to them. That's 21 people whose lives were forever changed. That's 21 families that were, some were destroyed and some were just altered. And just our hearts go out to them.
And don't think just because they're not dead that their life ain't paralyzed. I mean, ain't permanently changed. What about the people that may be paralyzed or lost a limb or lost a function of an organ or an organ's partially damaged? There's many ways to affect somebody's life.
As we work through this, but this is going to take some time for us. But we have the full support of our federal partners. I've spoken with District Attorney Danny Carr. Everybody's on board assisting us. It's just going to take time to work through this. And if the public has any information, we ask them to please either call Crime Stoppers at 205-254-7777, call Birmingham Police Homicide Unit 205-254-1764. Please, or utilize the QR code that we'll release shortly, because it's going to take everyone to work together to get these individuals off the streets who inflicted this carnage on our city last night. And no one in this city wants these people on our streets. So I now turn it over.
That's right. The suspect still in court yet.
To the Honorable Mayor Randall Woodfin for comment.
They still in court.
As Chief has stated, last night what happened in our community was extremely unfortunate. In the 2200 block of Magnolia Avenue, I think there are many things we can do. The first thing and the priority is to get these shooters, find these shooters and get them off our streets. That will require the assistance of community members, not just from last night, but anyone who will have any information related to the whereabouts of these shooters. I think it's critically important for us to be in a position to best solve this case, for community members to step forward. I want to stress that you can remain anonymous and call Crime Stoppers at 254-7777. Again, that phone number is 205-254-7777. If you have any information, please reach out to Crime Stoppers. Also want to acknowledge the toll of this, the heaviness of this. For many, many people involved, one, for these victims. The victims who live, who have to wake up and face a new unfortunate normal related to the emotional as well as physical trauma that they will have to live with.
Exactly.
Two, to those who actually lost their lives, to their families. There are no words for that loss, right? Trying to stand here and find words to describe those families and what they're feeling right now. The anger, the hurt, the pain, the loss. I will say this, we, all of us, as a community, owe it to them to do everything we can to take these shooters, killers off our streets. I also want to echo sentiments of what Chief Thurman said, and that is a huge thank you, first to our first responders, our officers in our fire department, EMA, etc. What they saw last night, what they wake up facing, that's an emotional toll on them as well. But I want to give a huge shout out.
Yeah, you just don't. First responders, military, you just don't see that shit and go back to normal. Like, they gotta, those paramedics, those doctors, those trauma surgeons, they gotta now face a new normal. They gotta wake up tomorrow and put everything that they've seen behind them and start again and help new people today. It's crazy.
To UAB Hospital, St. Vincent's Hospital, Brookwood Hospital, and Princeton Hospital for doing what they do best, and that is saving lives. All of those hospitals stepped up last night for those surviving victims. But I want to make something clear. I am an elected official. My position is nonpartisan. And so in this moment, pretty much like all moments, I really don't care. I don't give a damn about partisan. I don't care about Democratic politics, Republican politics. What I care about and what is my concern, what is my top priority, along with the Birmingham Police Department, is public safety. But you got to give us the tools to solve these issues. This is not the first occasion, unfortunately, in 2024 where we've seen the style of weapons, the number of bullets on the scene, possibly conversions used, etc. Automatic weapons being used in our streets. This is a solvable problem, and I want to explain that. You know, I tell people when America gets a cold, it's possible that Birmingham gets the flu. We've seen this in the 60s during segregation, at the height of it. Unfortunately, we were the poster child. We find ourselves in 2024 where gun violence is at an epidemic level and an epidemic crisis in our country. And unfortunately, the city of Birmingham finds itself, unfortunately, at the tip of that spear. Is it solvable? The answer is yes. Does it require everyone to come together? The answer is also yes. At the height of gun violence in our country, which was the 90s, there was a bill that was passed. Now, some will say I'm getting too political, but I am a politician, so I need to speak the truth and publicly share my thoughts and what I'm feeling so people can understand what's at stake here.
Let's hear it, brother.
There was an assault weapons ban passed. Our country, and not just our country, but the city of Birmingham, in that 10-year window, saw the lowest form of gun violence. Since that assault weapons ban has been lifted, a lot of things have changed. Not just the increase of homicides at a scale in the city of Birmingham, but the style of weapons used in our city. Conversions used, switches, etc. The number of shell casings on a given scene. That requires laws to be changed to give the necessary tools for police to enforce. That is my desire. That is our desire. Our desire, our priority is to take killers and shooters off the streets.
Yeah, but you know, some people are going to say we got enough laws already. We need to enforce those. Some people think, and I'm going I'm one of those people really that laws only stop law-abiding citizens, and then on occasion when a criminal breaks those laws, it allows the justice system to properly, rate it in terms of risk and impact and things like that, and chances of it happening again. So things like a lot of these kids, I almost can guarantee that whoever did this wasn't supposed to own a gun in the first place. They probably were a felon or too young. This is like some young kid stuff where they probably wasn't old enough to have that anyway. And if it had a conversion kit on it or a switch on it, switches are illegal. So then that would mean that even though it's illegal, then that means that basically means law-abiding citizens won't have switches. Point blank, period. So I own guns. You can own guns, and other people can own guns. I've owned guns before. I've sold guns. I've not had guns, and whatever. Been in the military. I never owned a switch because they're illegal. So only criminals is going to do it. You got these in places like Chicago and Detroit and things like this where guns are illegal. So if you put a assault weapon ban, well, the criminal's still going to have it, and they're going to hide it. But the law-abiding citizens won't. So I see it both ways.
We don't have any interest in this whole debate about Second Amendment rights. We don't have any interest in people who want to protect their homes, militia, whatever else you want to say. There's a certain element in this city, there's a certain element in this community who are too comfortable riding around with semi-automatic weapons, automatic weapons, conversion switches, and everything else.
That are illegal, bro.
Whose only intent, hell-bent intent, is to harm people, shoot people, kill people. They don't care if it's innocent people around. They don't care if it's a business, a home, a senior, a child. That is their interest.
Really, just like the UK, their guns are illegal, so you don't really hear about those. Instead, you hear 50 people stabbed on a subway, 30 people stabbed, 10 people stabbed in China, because the guns are illegal. So the criminals use weapons, swords, machetes. You see those kids in the UK, the gangs, they have machetes in their pants and they pull them out like this, like they damn pirates. Criminals are gonna find a way to be criminals.
We need the necessary tools.
I just think that if I have a machete and then there's two people trying to rob me with machetes, they're probably gonna win. But if I have a gun and there's two people with guns, there's a chance that if I could pull mine first, I got better aim, I could take them all out. There's a chance.
We don't have home rule. And so I want to work with the state. I want to work with the state to solve this problem. I'm not here to point fingers. But at an epidemic level that it is right now, can we make an exception for the city of Birmingham?
And guns are not just to protect you from burglars. It's also to protect you from the government, too. It's also to protect the people from the government. Now, we like to be like, oh, we're in 2024. That can't happen. Okay. Yep. As soon as they sit here and say, hey, you going to do this, right? People are afraid of Trump. But Trump going to be a dictator. Okay, so would the dictator want all your guns taken away? So when he sends the military down here, y'all can't fight back? But the Republicans want you to keep the guns. The Democrats want your guns away. So at least if Trump be a dictator, we all got guns to fight back.
And allow the necessary resources, allow the necessary tools, allow the necessary laws to address this. Because this is not the first quadruple homicide we've had in 2024. But the same set of circumstances exists with the style of weapon, the number of bullets, the conversions, etc. This is solvable. We owe it to the victims. We owe it to the victims' families. We owe it to the victims who are no longer with us. We owe it to the victims who have to live with this trauma. We owe it to our innocent children, our innocent seniors. We owe it to every citizen in Birmingham. We owe it to small business owners and community members.
I didn't know they were going to get this political.
You know, Glock switches conversions are federally outlawed. And while they're outlawed with my left hand, you also have Congress not giving ATF the actual organization designed to enforce and take them off the street.
So the laws are already there. So we got to Stop trying to put in other things. Enforce that what's already in there. If you already got a law that's halfway in there, let's complete that one and trying to get. We'll have that complete before we get new legislation in. That's crazy.
You have to give people the tools they need to address and solve this issue. You see, we are prepared to be overly aggressive, dogmatic, if you will, and go after every shooter in the city. But as it stands, they can ride around with no permit. They can ride around with any type of gun. Again, if you want to protect your home, cool. But what are you going to do for us, the people who you say are responsible for public safety? You take this hand and you put it behind our back. You take this hand and you put it behind our back. I got it, sir. No worries, I got it, brother. You take this hand and you put it behind our back. Then you put a blindfold over our eyes and tell us, well, you're responsible for solving this issue. So yeah, there are a lot of emotions that I have, but they pale in comparison to the family members who are waking up to their loved one not being beside them this morning. My emotions pale in comparison to the victims who are still at these hospitals I named, who have to figure out what's next in life, who have to live with this trauma. Do not tell me this is not solvable. And at the same time, do not tell me this is only on the police to solve.
There's definitely a
Elected
neighborhood.
officials, locally, statewide, and nationally have a duty to solve this American crisis, this American epidemic of gun violence. We should not allow people to just ride around with any style type of weapon that doesn't even belong on domestic streets. It should not.
Sorry, I'm trying to hear about the case.
You said at the beginning of the press conference you believe this was targeted at an individual. Can you tell us how you've come to find that out already and why the individual was targeted and if the individual targeted is among the deceased?
We believe the individual that was targeted is among the deceased. We believe that there was a hit, if you will, on that particular person, as far as, someone was willing to pay money to have that person killed. We just have that information from some of the information we've learned in the last few hours of that investigation. I mean, that could change, but that's where we're at right now. Like I said, there wasn't anything that occurred at any of the businesses nearby. There wasn't an altercation that occurred there on the sidewalk. So with the information we have, that's, we believe, where we're at right now as of today.
We have the unsolved mass shooting from July
Yes.
At the adult birthday party.
They got another mass shooting
Do
already.
you have more information at this point in the investigation on this case?
Need more cameras in the city, man.
Been no arrest there, but you seem to be moving pretty quickly on this one.
No, I'd say we probably have more on the other one just because time has passed. We've had a lot more time to garner more information and get things in place. Some of the things that we do just require time. Testing of evidence and other things just requires time. And so, but as the mayor said, and really, and y'all, the public has seen it this year. When the public comes forward and shares information with law enforcement, and I hats off to Birmingham Police Department. The men and women work day and night tirelessly to get those cases solved and get those individuals off the street.
He said stop the no snitching shit. There's drill rappers gonna put it in your head to stop the no snitching shit when you work a 9 to 5. You work a 9 to 5 and pay for the police. You should. I walk around feeling like the police is my personal security. Like all these celebrities got securities. I feel like do something. I call 911 right now. Yo. Then you can have your own protection too. But hey, they back up. I'm calling back up. Boop boop. Because I'm a law-abiding citizen. Get it out of my face.
We've proven that multiple times in 2024. As quickly as we get information, we act extremely swiftly. We pull whatever resources we need from our partners, and we get those individuals off of the streets of Birmingham. So we'll do that and continue to do that. That'll never stop. That's why we're here. But there again, public sharing that information is a lot of times is what makes those cases move much faster. We like to move very swiftly in this case and in all of our cases. But if we don't have that information, it makes it just a little bit harder for us. Not that we can't get there, but it just takes more time and makes it harder. Whereas if we can extract these individuals from our society today, we can make the city of Birmingham much safer.
Take them out.
So is there any connection known between those two shootings?
No. And that's one thing we look at, and not just those shootings, but any other shootings or any other situations. Is there a commonality between what occurred last night and any other incidents? And so we don't have anything right now saying that.
What exact type of weapon was used?
We believe it was something that was fully automatic. I'll just leave it at that. There's multiple shell casings. That's something that's going to take some time for our forensics team and ATF to assist us in processing.
How many shooters?
There were multiple.
Were they in a car, or did they?
They were in a vehicle. Got out of the vehicle. Shooting occurred. They fled in the vehicle.
Did anybody return fire?
That's one of the things that we're working through right now to determine. We're only 10 hours from the time of the shooting, so there's just limited information that we have right now that we can give out. And so as time goes on, we have more information that we can release. We will.
Damn.
Now, I know the mayor spoke about this a little bit. Changes in laws and that sort of thing. But if you have people that are stealing guns, and it's easy to get a Glock switch or something like that on a 3D printer, doing things illegally, ordering them off the internet, what can really be done to, stop this type of crime?
You probably don't even want to
I
speak
think it
on
goes
it.
back to the press conference that we had at the Birmingham Police Firing Range several months ago. We had all our partners there. We had a demonstration. U.S. Attorney mentioned the flip the switch, contacting Crime Stoppers and giving that information. There have been arrests made off of that information, I will tell you that. And so when the public has that information, if they will share it with law enforcement, we will act to arrest those individuals. If we know of someone who's, fabricating those devices, we would love to have that information so we can deal with those individuals as well. But there again, the public is the eyes and ears of the city and the police department.
He said, y'all know what's going on. Stop playing. This is our community. This is the black community. Y'all want your community, your streets clean, you got to help us. We can't do it. We can't do it. Nobody can't come in your house. If you hire a maid and you paying for a maid, but every time she comes to your house and ring the doorbell, you say, ain't nothing in here dirty. Ain't nothing in here need no cleaning. We good. What's she going to do? What's she supposed to do? Force you to clean the house?
They know far more than we will ever know. They've got to share that information with us. Working today, they'll work through the night.
Out and have a good night and maybe even got caught in this. What message do you have for people that maybe were just trying to enjoy their night out and got caught in the middle of this?
As the mayor and I both said, this is a very tragic situation. That's one thing.
Shit.
ABC
7 minutes
4340's
ago.
Valerie Bell returned to the scene this morning. She continues our team coverage tonight with reaction from the 5 Points community.
People we spoke with are sad and angry. Some say they're just fed up.
That's what it takes. People need to get fed up. Change.
The church bells rang out Sunday morning in 5 Points. Families out and about on the streets.
There's plenty of people walking around like it's just another day.
The night before, this popular nightlife spot turned into the scene of a deadly mass shooting.
The first thing I heard was people yelling and screaming.
Birmingham police report more than 100 shots were fired.
You're going to party at different places to have fun. You're not going to party at different places to get killed by a gun.
Police believe it was a targeted hit.
Shit, that was an unintentional bar. You going to these places to have fun. You ain't going to these places to get shot by a gun. Damn.
What they don't realize is you got to look over your back for the rest of your life. And you throwing your life away for some pecans and peons. It ain't enough money in the world will make me go out here and take somebody's life.
Robert Banks says he knows the victims' families.
Right now where we standing at, it's blood on the ground. It's blood on the ground right now where we standing at, right now. So when you got blood on this concrete, it ain't the blood of the elders, it's the blood of the youth.
Firefighters used hoses to wash away the blood as others cleared away debris. All this while the community struggles to cope with another tragic shooting in the city.
It happens anywhere and everywhere. That's where it happens at. And right now it's happening all over the city of Birmingham.
Almost like unbelievable and expected at the same time.
Unfortunately, I wasn't surprised when I heard about it.
Some questioning their safety.
It just makes me not want to leave the house, you never know, like, if you can be next, just a part of something that you...
And these normal people, right? These normal people downtown, and you get these riffraff and these goddamn gangsters and youngsters, whatever, that just raised by women, so they got no emotional control. They just snap. Oh, you stepped on my shoes, blah. Oh, you talking to my girlfriend in the DM, blah. these are the people they interview and probably law-abiding, tax-paying citizens, like this guy, and they tired of it.
Really have no involvement in.
I don't feel safe, you know. And I have friends that work in that breezeway at another bar, and I don't see how they do it.
For this city, the violence is nothing new.
It's black on black crime at an all-time high in the city of Birmingham, and then it turned to Afghanistan and Murderham. The Magic City is a tragic city.
The city of Birmingham has seen more than 100 homicides already this year. In Birmingham, Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 News.
Birmingham leaders held a news conference to provide the latest information this morning. Mayor Randall Woodfin gave his condolences to the victims and says this is a solvable problem that requires everyone's attention. It's business.
What we're seeing here in the city of Birmingham is that you have people who are no longer afraid of the police. They're no longer afraid of law enforcement, especially the Birmingham police. That is a problem because they know that the city of Birmingham does not have the manpower. The criminals are watching just like we're watching. They're studying just like we're studying. So they can time the response. Community policing in the city of Birmingham. So to say that it's all now on the state legislature, I take issue with that.
Yeah, she's saying the mayor needs to buckle up right now. The mayor needs to go in there with the police chief every day, say, listen, we need a task force. We need to take it back. No sorries, no ifs. We need to take it back. These young kids running around like it's like we ain't living in 2024. Like we ain't got cameras all over the place. Every business in that city should have a camera looking out. It shouldn't be, you commit a murder within this district, within this downtown, we're going to follow you out all the way to your house.
Representative Gavan went on to say there is a breakdown in communication among leaders. And reaction continues to pour in this evening. The Birmingham City Council released this statement. The council says thoughts and prayers are no longer enough and that the city needs action. The council also says they're angry and tired, but committed to working to ensure illegal firearms are taken off the street. Alabama Representative.
You see that? They said we're looking forward to enforcing the laws, but most importantly, we're committed to enforcing the laws we currently have to make Birmingham the city we desire. They ain't trying to hear what the mayor said.
Off the street. Alabama Representative Terry Sewell is also reacting to the mass shooting. In a statement, Sewell says this senseless violence is unacceptable. She also says elected officials
and it's run by black
do
people.
What they can to.
So far, you seen the mayor, you seen this representative. They're all black. Where's the Republicans that they gonna blame this on? No, the Republican city, they have goddamn state troopers in there.
Break this cycle. UAB's campus is not too far from where the mass shooting took place. The Alabama chapter of Students Demand Action is speaking out today. The group says our schools should not be plagued by gun violence and that students should feel safe while going to class. And the Alabama chapter of Moms Demand Action also released a statement. They say lawmakers need to act and pass gun laws to protect Alabama children. And you are also reacting to the ongoing violence. We have posted live breaking updates across all our social media platforms since last night, and you have told us what you think. Many of you are saying it's time for officials to act and that some are even scared to walk through parts of the city. And this is not the first mass shooting Birmingham has seen this year or even in the last few months. In July, 4 people were killed and 10 others were hurt after a shooting at an event center. And when ABC 3340 started asking questions, we discovered the venue did not have a license to operate. No arrests have been made. And back in February, 4 men were shot and killed in the College Hills neighborhood. The men were targeted while at a neighborhood car wash. 20-year-old Lamarian Charlie was charged with 4 counts of capital murder. Also breaking just into our newsroom tonight, a teenager has been shot in Tarrant. This was a scene earlier today on Birmingham Street. Tarrant police say the teenager is expected to recover, but police are still investigating. And we will continue to update you on air and online as this information continues to break tonight. You can stay on top of all these developments. Download the ABC 3340 News app for the very latest.
Oh, man, listen.
ABC.
What are we to do? What are we to do? Hold on, let me fix this real quick. Oh my God. Listen. Another mass shooting. You see at the end, there's been more shooting since then. This shit is crazy, man. And it's not getting better. I'm just looking up if there's any more information on this before I end this. Let's see. No. Let me close this one out then. Listen. Things are getting tricky in America, but we definitely have enough laws on the books to enforce. So it's very apparent that the rest of the state and the rest of the city is not on the same page as the mayor. The mayor seemed to be making a lot of excuses now. Before I was like, but by the end of that, when I see what the other representatives said, and they're all Democrat, I was like, obviously he's not on the same page as them. They're saying we still got enough laws right now that we can't. So maybe the sheriff not even on the same page, but right there is not a political meeting. So that's something later on to really discuss. Right now, it's just nasty. They need to get them. They still haven't caught these suspects, but they're going to get caught. They can't let this. I mean, they're going to check everybody's phone. They're going to figure out who that guy. They probably was DMing each other. These kids are stupid. They probably was DMing each other saying, hey, we're going to see you next week, or we're going to see you. We know you're going to the movies tonight. We're going to see you. He probably dropped his location somewhere. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe these are just all innocent bystanders. But this, God, 20-something people, life changed like that. These kids just spraying. To put a switch on it, I mean, that should be premeditated murder. If you have a switch and you hit somebody, that should be premeditated murder because you knew that you put that thing on the gun with the intent to just boom, 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 to kill somebody, not defend yourself. Because you're 1 bullet, 2 bullets maybe. You ain't got no control. Once they hit that switch, that shit just boom. It's crazy. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. God bless you, man. Love everything. Enjoy your day. Remember, we out of the cave here. That's why we can't play games with words. That's why we can't sit here and support this type of stuff. And then we can't support Israel and bombing and everything else. It just can't. Politicians want us to believe that there's a reason for these things, but they can stop it. Let me know what y'all think, man. Thank you for coming back watching this with me. See you on the next one.